there's nothing as interesting as the smell of a crispy, brand new newspaper. You know, it's very interesting.
Gone are the days newsprint.
I know. Gone are the days we used to just look forward to buying a paper on your way to work. Now you can get it on, you know, on your tablets, on, you know, anywhere.
There are still people who never read.
I still love it. I still love it. I don't like ebooks. I like to, you know, just
the good old feel of the print. It adds its own beauty to the
you can never take that away. So let's start with the first paper, New Telegraph. The top story here says, Atiku, APC trained card readers, hackers in Nigeria. In China, I beg your pardon. APC trained card readers, hackers in China. That's a top story. Accuses ruling party of plot to rig presidential election. This is on pages 2 and pages 12. Also, there's a sub one there which says, Oshomole, PDP has no plans to win through legitimate votes. Another story here, APC demands removal of Abia, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Rex, and threatens to boycott polls. Alleges INEC officials are working for the PDP. Trouble in paradise? Gbolahun.
We're going to continue to have all this exchange of banters between the parties. I mean, you can imagine when we had the election postponement, APC will say, oh, it was you caused it, it was you. The other party will say, no, you caused it. So all these things is one of the painful things for me that will postpone this election, because by now, all these conspiracy theories, all these banters will have
you could have put some of them to bed.
Correct. But as long as we still have the elections ahead of us, we're going to continue to have accusations and counter-accusations between the two major parties.
But when it comes to the umpire, which is INEC, it makes me really laugh, you know, when you say, oh, because you are the one who's in charge. You are the party in power. Correct. And you're accusing the people who work for you, in quotes, of working for the PDP. I mean, it's really funny. And look at the states they're calling, Akwa Ibom, Cross River. Is it because these are PDP states?
In the real sense, despite the fact that the president appointed the INEC chairman, the law shields the INEC chairman because it seeks to make him independent, despite the fact that you are appointed by the president.
Of course, that point can be debated.
Yes, that point can be debated. And you can also have a situation in which actually the guy can choose to be independent because he can walk away from the job. You're not glued to it, though. We know Africans don't resign from positions anyway. But the law significantly protects the INEC chairman to do what he wants to do without the fear of being the president cannot even remove him after appointing him. That's the funny thing. So that's a lot of power for you to say you can have an independent mind. So for APC, will continue to throw things in the way of PDP. PDP will also throw counter stones.
Do you think that one of the reasons, before we move to another paper, one of the reasons why this is happening is because, you know, this election is too close to call. It's just a stiff competition, so nobody wants to let nobody wants to keep quiet, somewhat.
Definitely. If you have an election that you can reasonably say, oh, it's going to be a landslide, there might not be as much contest as this. But the truth is, until this election actually holds, nobody knows exactly where the pendulum will swing.
Interesting. Let's go to the Sun newspaper. Top story here says, Atiku to Buhari, your directive is unlawful. We're going to go on and on about this one. President shoot on sight order on ballot box snatching is the top writer there. Prepare for shock or the shock of your life. APC tells PDP candidate. I'm wondering what the shock will be. And down under, we have Army, police, warn troublemakers. Why ballot box snatchers won't be spared. Presidency, you can find that on pages 4 and 6. Customs detains 4 officers over man's death in Ogun. And the last one down there is no going back on February 23 election, says INEC. Electoral body outlines plans of action and promises daily briefing. This is also to be found on page 6 of the newspaper. Finally, court nullifies ex-Governor Gbolahun's APC nomination. You can find that on page 4. Wow. Gbolahun is back in the news. I sort of forgot about him.
Yeah, you know, he was a PDP governor for 2 terms. And I guess things were not looking good with PDP, so he left for APC, which is what we kept saying. The two parties are not parties. They are platform for contesting. When one doesn't work for you, you cross to the other to go and get a ticket. That is how it has been. And that is why you'll find out that the people here today will be the people that will be there tomorrow. If you go there, it doesn't work for you, you go back to where you came from. As simple as that.
This is interesting. Well, let's look at the issue of no going back on February 23. There's some form of nostalgia for some people. Some people have some form of apprehension towards INEC. Well, you've let us down before. What's the certainty that you would not come up with another strategy or some excuse? Although we are all hoping for the best. You know, my colleagues will say all the best to INEC. So I'm just wondering, is there the momentum building back up as it was as at last week?
I think so. Surprisingly, we thought people were going to start getting discouraged. But everybody I've spoken with who wanted to vote still want to vote. They are waiting for this 23rd to cast their vote. Yesterday, I was speaking with a copper who was one of those people who slept on the field last Saturday. He's ready for next week. He's ready for this Saturday.
Are you
serious?
And
I'm like, for real? What did they tell you guys? He said it's just going to be there. They've reshuffled them a little bit. But he's ready. For it. So Nigerians are determined for 23rd. It is for INEC to help us make sure that it happens.
On the Nation newspaper here, Joshua rings New York exchange bell. He had to go to New York. He's never fought outside his comfort zone. Another top story here on the Nation, Leah's father pleads with government to rescue daughter. Page 8 of the Nation newspaper, Balogun Fulani-led Kwara APC exco sacked. You can find that on page 43 of the Nation newspaper. And the big story here says EFCC detains Atiku's man over $4 million cash haul. And PDP presidency clash over Buhari's directive. Let's start with Leah because, you know, whether we like it or not, Leah's story at some point, you know, was overtaken by events. And now her mother decided to scream. Now her father. What do you think the government should be doing in that direction?
It's a tough bit to take a call on. But what seems to have happened is that in the course of electioneering, things like this tend to take a backpedal a little bit. As soon as this is over, I believe it needs to get back on the dashboard of the president. I'm not saying that the security agencies and whoever has been saddled with negotiations with these people is not doing anything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it might not be on the dashboard of the president right now, and we just have to be frank about that. But this young lady who was 14, I think she will be 15 now, is still in the hands of the captors. You can imagine the trauma that this young lady will have gone through, the kind of rehabilitation that she will even need to go through when she's eventually back is untold. You know.
You're still watching Off the Press on Plus TV Africa, and of course we are looking at sports stories right now. Yes, and I have Udoka Njoko here in the studio. He's going to be looking at some stories on our sports newspaper. We have sports, complete sports, and Sporting Sun. So we'll look at big stories. Here, Bayern survives Red Scare is one big story here. That's about the Liverpool-Bayern match that held. And also Lyon and Barcelona. Messi flies home without away goal. And that's very strange for those of us who are Messi fans. Juve denies chasing £50 million Salah. They should leave Salah for me, please. And of course, Chelsea may drop Zidane. That's another big story. And I want to talk about Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua gets a £400 facial treatment ahead of his Miller fight. Is he such a vain man?
Ah, come on.
I'm just wondering.
It happens. We're looking forward to the fight between Anthony Joshua and Miller, who is also called Big Baby. That fight will go down on the 1st of June. And for Anthony Joshua, I'm actually scared for Joshua. You know, I would say he's been, should I say he's been avoiding the fight against Deontay Wilder because, Tyson Fury as well, because it looks like he is avoiding those fights. He has chosen to fight Jarrell Miller on the 1st of June, and people think he's going to easily knock down Miller. Miller is a wild beast.
I'm worried because I saw the video from the press conference and he
yesterday.
literally pushed and shoved him. I was on my way to work and I literally just said, oh my God, like, and there and then I just knew that, oh my God, I hope he doesn't.
It's a fight to look forward to, 1st of June. Let's
I'm not
see
sure
Joshua
I can watch it.
defend
My
his
heart
title.
can't take it.
Why not? Joshua is up to the task.
Well,
You'll be amazed.
he put, I understand, he put 3 of his titles on the line. Is this fight really worth those 3 titles?
And again, this is the first time he'll be fighting in the US. So it's
outside his comfort zone.
Yeah, so it's a big one. I just hope if he wins this one. Let's see what happens on that day.
All right, let's talk about the issue of Bayern and the Liverpool match.
Game. That was the Champions League, a goalless affair between Bayern and Liverpool, and as well Lyon versus Barcelona. Most of the football fans thought it was going to be an easy ride for Liverpool against Bayern, knowing that Bayern have injury crisis, and playing at Anfield, they were sure of victory for Liverpool. But hey, Bayern came with a defensive formation and they held on all through that game. I saw the game and it was quite interesting. Liverpool lost a couple of chances, Bayern as well, but I believe Liverpool has what it takes to qualify for the next round because all they need to do is score an away goal at the Allianz Arena, and Bayern will surely struggle to win that game. And for Barcelona and Lionel Messi firing blanks, it was a crazy affair.
It was tough for me to watch.
25 shots on target, none of them went in.
Yeah.
None of them went in.
The Lyon guys must be doing something right.
Of course, and let's give credit to the Lyon
Lions
goalkeeper.
will trouble any team.
True. Give credit to the Lyon goalkeeper. He did an amazing job yesterday by keeping Messi off from scoring.
All right. And Juve denying that they're chasing Mo Salah. Is that true?
Well, it's transfer rumors, but nothing is confirmed until it is confirmed. For Salah, there were rumors that Juve wanted to get him for over 50 million euros, but yeah, they will come out to deny it. But eventually, if it does move, or probably when the summer transfer window opens, then we'll confirm if it's true, if they made an offer or not.